Ah, the ocean. It's full of mysteries, marvels, and creatures that look like they were designed during a fever dream directed by HR Gieger. Among them swims a gelatinous giant with flowing, fibrous tentacles that seem to stretch on into infinity. Meet the lion's mane jellyfish, a giant egg yolk that can ruin your day with its spicy spaghetti. But when you're an unthinking mass of stinging cells, you need to cast a wide net in order to find food here in life, death, and taxonomy.
Okay, welcome back to Life, Death, and Taxonomy. It's your 30 minutes of interesting animal information. I'm Joe.
And I'm Carlos.
And thank you to Cassie for the creation of our theme song. To hear more of Cassie's music, please search Cassie Michelle on YouTube or Spotify.
And thank you to Johanna for the creation of this week's artwork. To check that out, you can visit us at our home on the web at ldtaxonomy.com. And a very special thank you to our patrons. Thank you so much for your support. It's greatly appreciated. Thanks for helping us keep the lights on. If you would like to donate, just visit patreon.com/ldtaxonomy or click on donate on our website.
And today we're talking about a dangler, but more on that later.
Okay.
We're also inhabiting the edges of a frame, which is the least flattering place to be. But
I like to lurk on the edges of frames.
But it's also where you're like funhouse warped in the edge.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm always whenever there's photos of some sort of get together, I'm always in the edges somehow. I try to get in the middle, and somehow I'm still on the edge. Or not in the photo at all. It's like, I swear I was there.
You've got to represent your household well by being center stage.
I wear the house colors. I put my insignia and logo on my shirt, and still side of the frame.
Well, you're like Mike Wazowski.
Yes, exactly. But what are we talking about?
We're talking about the lion's mane jellyfish.
Yes.
Not the peripheral one that sits on the sides of photos. The lion's mane jellyfish.
Yeah, the mane.
Yes.
Not the lion's side jellyfish.
Flat jellyfish. Fully rounded jellyfish.
Yeah, it's we're gonna call it here the swimming spaghetti monster. I'm sure there's a church of the swimming spaghetti monster. String bean. Get it? It's like a human. Like a human being.
String being.
And Peril of the Bells.
Nice. Timely. We're still in the holiday spirit.
It is the day after Christmas as we're recording this.
Would you like to know what science calls it?
I would.
It's in the kingdom Animalia. The phylum is... I almost said Chordata.
Do I know love and or am in?
Yeah, you all of those. You know, love, and you gotta have it.
Yeah, but not in the phylum. Just the kingdom.
Uh-huh. The phylum, though, is Nidaria, which you neither know, love, nor...
I mean, I can know it.
You can know it.
But I can't love it.
You can...
and you can't make me.
Yeah. The class is Syphozoa.
Syphozoa. There you go.
SCY. Science.
Master Syphidius.
Mm-hmm. The order is Semaiostomae.
There's a lot of vowels.
Don't you love it when there's like 3 vowels in a row?
Semaiostomiae.
Stomiae, that's it.
Semaiostomiae.
Yeah. The family is Cyanidae.
There you go. That's good.
Cyanidae. Cyanidae. It looks like cyan, right? Cyanidae.
Cyaneidae.
Yeah.
Cyaneidae.
It's blue Nidarian. The genus is Cyanea. And the species is Capillata. Cyanea capillata. Cucurcanium.
Yes. So since we're in the business of naming things, it's time for my favorite part of the show, nitty-gritty nomenclature. The part of the show where I ask you, Joe, a question, and that is, what is the English translation for the binomial nomenclature, which in this case is Cyanea capillata. Mm-hmm. So, does that mean A, lion's brush, B, dark blue hair, C, flowing smooth river, or D, crawling ocean dweller?
The blue one is speaking to me, but that also could be because you also know cyan is blue. But maybe it's called blue because water is blue and cyan is named after rivers, not the other way around.
See, now that we're like in the same room, I gotta keep this poker face on.
I'm going to go with the blue one. Final answer.
Dark blue hair?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah. You doth protest too much.
If you spoke Spanish, you would know for sure that it was that was it because
Pelata? Or?
Because brush is cepilla.
Ah.
And so it's like a brush for your hair. So yes, dark blue is, which is interesting because cyan is not dark blue, but the root of it is,
it's like true blue,
dark
right?
blue.
Or is it like a
cyan? Is
blue?
like a like almost
like your water bottle's almost like a cyan.
No, that's aquamarine. Cyan is like it's like one of the colors in your printer. It's a very bright light blue.
I have a printer. Let's break it open.
let's perform an autopsy on the printer. Yeah, so dark blue hair. That's what that means.
Do you know what? Want to know what it looks like?
Yeah, haunt my nightmares.
Well, it's a jellyfish.
I knew it.
But it's a jellyfish with some interesting proportions and stuff. So it's got tentacles, like a jellyfish does, but it also has tentacles in clusters.
My favorite way to have tentacles.
Tentacle clusters is the cellar door. It's the dissonant version of cellar door.
It's the opposite. It's the worst collection of consonants and vowels.
It's like if you take a bar chord and just do the opposite of a bar chord.
I don't even know what that would be. Bar chord is what, 151.
Also, it kind of looks like a raw egg. Like a yellow center with a white periphery. Mm-hmm. So it looks like you dropped a raw egg in there. In the ocean.
With spaghetti.
Have you ever made a hard-boiled egg, but when you put it in the pot, it cracked, or it was cracked when it went in? So yolk is leaking out in tendrils and hardening because it's hot water. This is that.
The only time I make hard-boiled eggs is for Easter, so.
Well, when was the last?
And then dip them in vinegar so that I can draw on them later.
So yeah, the tentacles are divided into 8 clusters, and each cluster contains around 150 tentacles. Each cluster. So it's got a ton. It looks like angel hair pasta.
It does. So maybe spaghetti was wrong. It's angel hair.
Yeah. The color varies depending on their size and age. Larger individuals usually are dark reddish brown. Smaller ones can be orange and tan or egg colored. And blue, apparently.
Blue?
You said cyan.
But it's not blue. I don't know. I don't know why they call it that. The ocean is blue.
But that brings us to its size, which is one of the interesting things about it. Welcome to the Beloved Measure Up segment, an official listeners part of the show. It's also part of the show. It's a part of the show when we present the animal size and dimensions in relatable terms. Through a quiz that's fun for the whole family. It's also part of the show that's introduced by you. when you send in audio of yourself saying, singing, or chittering, the words measure up into ldtaxonomy@gmail.com.
Do it.
But we don't have a new measure up intro this week because you are slacking. It's the new year. Turn over a new leaf and send in 54,000 measure ups.
That's quite a goal. And unfortunately, the people that are going to pick up the tab are the people that have been sending us measure ups in the past. The people that have been putting the team on their back.
Yes. If you've never done it, you have to do it especially.
It's already your New Year's resolution.
Yeah.
You just don't even know it yet.
Exactly right. So that means we get to hear from an animal, and Carlos has to guess what it is.
A jellyfish.
Without further ado, the listener's favorite part of the show.
Oh, I knew that one.
Do you know who that is?
Who that is?
Yeah.
Is that the king jelly?
No, it's just the jellyfish.
It's just a jellyfish.
That stalks SpongeBob.
And he befriends like a blue-colored one at some point. And I think he gives it a name or something.
A blue-collared one?
Yeah, a blue-collared one. It's an electrician.
I like that sometimes they sound like bees. Like that's what they...
But sometimes they sound like a guy going,
I like that it's just a guy that time.
When there's a lot of them, they sound like bees. Well, I thought you were going to do the pow-pow fish one. Oh, but that's not an audio file. So
there's no part of my brain that has any context that would think to look up the pout-pout fish.
You need to step into my shoes.
I thought it was a book.
It is a book.
It's animated into a movie?
No, there's like a YouTube animated reading of it, basically.
I have no concept of that. I'll never know the pout-pout fish.
Well, just as an update, we're now into Bluey and Paw Patrol. We're finally there.
Okay, Bluey, I've heard has some rewarding storylines for adults.
So far, no. So far, all it's done is made me feel bad because it's this is a tangent, but it's all about a dad or parents that go into their kids' imaginary games 150%, which I do not do. Just like if they're playing a game where the kids have the ability to use wizard force magic on you, the parents are rolling around on the floor, being tossed over couches, outside. They're breaking things while having some sort of lesson. And it's I'm not going to do that.
That's what the other kids are for.
Yeah, that's why they have each other. I'm not going to stop what I'm doing and instantly roll over on the floor because they're pretending to use the force on me. I might freeze for a second but I'm going to keep chopping carrots. Anyway, that's my Bluey tangent. It's got a really catchy theme song, and everyone's Australian, so that's enough delightful stuff to give it a B in my book. And B for Bluey.
B's not so bad. Let's talk length. They're 150 feet.
Lion's mane jellyfish.
Yeah, the tentacles are long as the day. 150 feet long, or 24 hours. Or 36.5 meters. So that is A. 350 go into the depth of the Challenger Deep.
The lowest point in the Marinara Trench.
That's exactly right. Or is it B, 5 of James Cameron's Deep Sea Challengers? That's his submarine.
Okay.
Or C, 14
of the Challenger space shuttle?
No.
Oh.
2 2024 Dodge Challengers. The Challenger space shuttle was another option.
There's also Challenger Road right next to me, off of the First Coast Expressway. Mm-hmm. What was the first one?
350 go into the depth of
Challenger Deep. And then there's the Challenger sub sandwich and Dodge Challengers.
Mm-hmm.
I've been thinking a lot about the bottom of the ocean recently.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because I've been researching a jellyfish. But I'm going to go with that one. Challenger Deep.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Correct answer is B, 5 of James Cameron's deep sea challengers.
I know nothing about his
Just a little submarine.
submarines.
Mm-hmm.
So,
the width is 7 feet. The width of the bell, which is the top, the part you can touch.
so actually, when I said Peril of the Bells, that's the part. That's the only part that is not perilous.
Peril coming off the bells. 2.1 meters, if that helps you.
Doesn't, not at all.
Is it a 15 limited edition Lion King themed Welch's jelly jars?
Tell us the story. Did you have one?
Anyone who had that, me saying that just unlocked a memory.
They just unlocked a core memory.
Yeah.
From Inside Out.
They were jelly jars that came out with the Lion King. They were Welch's jelly jars you got for kids, and they were collectible. And there was like characters on each one.
I missed out on that.
Everybody go Google limited edition Lion King themed Welch's jelly jars, and you'll see if it unlocks a memory.
I was collecting Pokemon Burger King toys at that time, so.
We were all collecting toys.
But that and Crazy Bones, those are the two things I was collecting.
We would.
I just picked my battles.
We would get the jelly, and then keep the jars for like tiny little cups.
Uh-huh.
So, for fun, you could get chocolate milk in there. It had jelly. It has Simba on it. Now it has chocolate milk.
That's 3 things.
That's 3 things that I like.
I wonder how much they're worth now if you still have one.
I think they're pretty well aged.
In terms of value?
In terms of value.
Probably pretty well aged in terms of just being gross receptacles for chocolate milk.
Wait. Let me look up.
Oh, no.
Let me Lion
Now we're looking things
King
up mid-show.
Welch's jelly jar. I see nothing wrong with a little tangent.
Jerry Jordan's Jelly Jar JJJ. I'm bringing it back to a children's story.
It looks like if you get the whole lot. They had Pokemon ones.
Now, suddenly I'm interested. No, I like Lion King too.
If you get all the Pokemon ones.
Not the Lion King too. I like the Lion King also.
$300 if you have all the Pokemon ones.
That's not enough.
You don't remember these jelly jars?
Not even a little bit.
Wow.
That is not ringing even the faintest jellyfish bell in my head.
Okay. This one we had. This Simba one? This one we had.
That's probably the best one.
Yeah, you'll never be able to see
It's
that.
Simba. He's the main character.
He is the main character. Is it 15 of those? I showed you them, which is bad.
I mean, it's a jelly jar.
Yeah.
It's a commercially available jelly jar. It's probably not anything spectacular.
It's not. It's something less than a gallon for sure.
Sure.
B, 237 jelly beans. Or C, 213 irukandji jellyfish.
The jelly jars. Final answer.
Final answer?
Yeah.
No, it's the irukandji jellyfish. It's
this is the one you were most
1 square centimeter. That jellyfish.
That was the one you were the most emotionally attached to. So I thought that might be the answer.
No, I lied. I went on a whole journey. I knew exactly the right answer, but then I fudged the numbers, which is a waste of my time.
Especially because I didn't give a whole lot of thought to it.
I should not do the math on the wrong ones, but sometimes I do. Just to make sure it's close enough.
Or not accidentally right.
Yeah.
Which has been before.
That's all I got for that. You want to hear some fast facts before we get into the major fact?
Sure.
Where do they live? They are typically found in cooler waters of the Arctic, North Atlantic, and North Pacific Oceans. That's a strange thing for things that live in the ocean, to prefer the cold parts of the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
They prefer open water, but sometimes drift near coastlines. That's another weird thing.
To drift?
To prefer drift in open water, but not that weird for jellyfish.
They kind of...
Especially if you've got...
They do whatever the current tells them to do.
Yeah. Current events.
Yeah. They made it...
They closely follow current events.
When I think of current events, I think of making a poster board about current events in 7th grade. Like,
I think of work.
Every week we had to make a current event poster board, and I hated it.
Current events is a weird... It's news.
Yeah. Okay. It is a way to say news, but when you say it like that, I think of homework.
What a weird assignment. Go find something that's happening and tell us about it.
Well, basically go find what happened this week and make a poster board about it.
You were tricked into being a reporter.
Yeah.
Is what was happening.
No. I was tricked into being a newsjacker.
Oh, you
were... The reporters already got the news.
You were tricked into being
to be like,
the Huffington Post.
Yes. Well, I was tricked into being the rest of the internet.
Yeah. Twitter. I mean, X. What do they eat? The lion's mane jellyfish eats other living things, especially meat. Except for, I wouldn't think of other like jellyfish as meat. But technically,
it's jelly
you're
meat.
A carnivore if you eat that. Jelly meat.
You're just not in carnivora.
Right. And they feed on small fish, zooplankton, and other jellyfish. Seems cruel. So if you like plankton, you're like, I'm going to eat the zooplankton, though. I need to have a little bit of a hope and a dream.
And it needs to be more than like a little bit of a mouthful.
Yeah. They use their stinging tentacles to capture and paralyze their prey. Which, if you have that much tentacle, open ocean is nice. You just like, whatever comes through.
Your chances of getting something are pretty high.
Yeah. Stinging. The tentacles of the lion's mane jellyfish are covered in stinging cells called nothing. Tricked you.
I am realizing that this major fact is going to be a short one.
They're also bioluminescent. Did you know this?
Yes.
Some lion's mane jellyfish can produce light through a process known as bioluminescence. Though it is often used... this is often used to deter predators or attract prey. I feel like a lot of times in the deep sea oceans, they're like bioluminescence, we don't know exactly what it's for. It's either to like scare stuff, or attract food, or attract companionship.
That's what colors are for outside of the ocean. So
that's true. Companionship.
It's to attract things to you. It's to scare things away, or to, I guess, blend in. You're not really trying to blend in if you're using bioluminescence, though.
Humans use it for companionship.
Lights?
Colors.
Oh.
Yeah, like clothing.
Sure.
Colorful clothes.
We do wear very colorful clown clothes whenever we want companions. Exactly. That's true.
Right. Have you ever worn a clown clothes to a date and then not had that date go well?
Not have married you? That person?
Have you, though? You probably haven't.
I've never done the first part. I will say.
So, exactly. Their life cycle. They go through Medusa stage, which is the adult stage. They don't go through it. They end at it. And a polyp stage, which is the juvenile stage. The Medusa is a free swimming stage, but the polyp is attached to a substrate, which is stuff.
Polyp is gross.
Substrate is code for ocean stuff, like sand or gravel.
Ocean floor stuff.
Ocean floor
There's
stuff.
lots of ocean stuff that's not
That's
substrate.
true. The wet stuff on the ocean, well, I guess it's all wet.
It's all wet.
The stuff that could dry. If it can dry.
The stuff that would be left.
Yeah. If you drank the ocean, then...
The stuff on Mars.
The stuff on Mars.
That's the substrate.
Yeah. The stuff on Mars is substrate. Yeah. Polyps grow into new medusae, which is the plural of Medusa.
Good.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah. That's all I got. Look up the jelly jars. The moral of the story is look up the jelly jars.
Look up the jelly jars. Well, I added this one to the list because if you asked me what the longest animal in the world was, I was going to tell you the blue whale. Mm-hmm. My whole life, as a kid, I was like, the biggest, longest animal in the world is the blue whale.
Unless you're talking temporally, then it's like the Greenland shark or something.
That's the longest lived, not the longest.
Longest in time.
But he's not very long.
He's long in time.
He's long in the tooth.
Yeah.
But not long in the body. But it turns out this is the largest animal, the longest animal in the world. If you don't count that grove of like trees in California.
As an animal? I sure don't.
They're all of the same genome or something, but I wouldn't call it, I mean, it's a plant, so it's not an animal anyway. And there's like some sort of fungus that stretches a couple miles or something like that. Doesn't count.
Fungus seems pretty colonial to me.
Yeah, and we don't stand for colonialism here.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you gonna? You got something to say?
No.
So no, it's the lion's mane jellyfish, and I've always wanted to talk about the lion's mane jellyfish, but it's a normal jellyfish, but it's just huge. Mm-hmm. And we have a segment of the show that talks about how big it is. So it like you said, it can reach up to 150 feet in length, which is a half a football field of just stinging spaghetti.
Like a pretty challenging field goal. Like a moderate to severely challenging field goal.
Yeah, I would even call that field goal Challenger deep.
Mm-hmm. Because it's going deep.
Yeah, it's. I assume that's what you would say if you were going to make a field goal from that.
No, you'd say that if you were throwing a pass.
You're going deep?
Deep,
yeah.
Yeah.
You don't kick it deep?
Typically not.
No, okay.
I don't think anyone would be mad at you if you said
if you kicked it deep.
If they were, then it's on them. It's really their problem.
That's a them problem. That's not a me problem. But the blue whale's 80 feet. It's measly.
Disgusting.
What a little guy.
Yeah.
What a pipsqueak.
Little fella.
But just the fact that you can be stung by the lion's mane jellyfish and not even see it yet. It's too far away. It's just down there in the ocean, and it's like there's hurt spaghetti all over you.
Oh, imagine like
hurt noodles.
That'll give a guy thalassophobia. Getting like tapped on the shoulder and it stings, and then looking up and
there's that
the tentacles go into the darkness and you don't even see what it's coming from.
But they're so thin. It's that if it was like a big like octopus squid tentacle and it landed on you and you looked up and it just went into the abyss, like
yeah,
or down, I guess down would be worse than up because up is where I would want to go. Up is my escape.
Well, what if stuff's in the way of up? That's pretty scary.
That is pretty scary. Because there could also be something in the down. So yeah, the tentacles are equipped with stinging cells called nematocysts.
Oh, they are called something.
Yeah, they are called.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, your research was just incomplete. I'm helping you out here. So they have like a little coiled needle in them that when touched or interacted with, stimulated, they will inject that needle into whatever's stimulating them and inject a toxin. For fish and for other smaller jellyfish and definitely for plankton, this is lethal. And it'll paralyze and kill and eat the thing, but for humans, it is just a bad day. It is painful. Rarely fatal. And when it brings prey up into its bell, it digests it just there. So it's an unthinking eating machine.
Good.
That trolls the entire ocean. And yeah, I mean it's big. It's a big one, and that's why I put it on this list. So that's all I got.
So like, how does it transfer stuff that is 50 yards away from it into the bell.
It can pull those tentacles in. So just
Okay.
Bring it in.
I was thinking, like, how does an unthinking eating machine, like, orchestrate that? But I guess, like, if Venus flytrap can do it, then a jellyfish can.
It still has nerves, and those nerves are like,
and it has the nerve.
It has the nerve to have nerves. Mm-hmm. So if it manages to get something, then it will automatically, like a machine, bring it into its mouth and digest it. But this thing is so big. Like, look, it's, again, the diameter of the bell is 7 feet or 2 meters. If that means anything to you,
7 feet, you could get in there.
It could digest you.
Too bad I won't be paralyzed by such metaphors.
Right. But, like, what if you fell asleep?
That would be terrible.
If
I fell asleep underwater, I'm really asking for trouble.
Yeah, there's a checklist of problems, and at the bottom of that list is I'm about to be digested by a lion's mane jellyfish. No, I don't think that's at the bottom of the list. I think it's third, or maybe second or third.
Yeah,
of problems that you have.
Yeah,
but
narcolepsy, poor planning. Being digested.
Sleep apnea. Incontinence. And then drowning and then lion's mane jellyfish.
Exactly.
So what are we at, 5?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean...
Actually, if I'm underwater, the incontinence is less of a problem, actually.
True.
Because I'm not even uncontinent. I'm in the ocean.
Oh, that hurt. My heart hurts.
That's it.
'Cause I thought you were going like, oh, people pee in the water.
That actually was what
I was thinking. Incontinental shelf.
Yeah.
Tell me, doctor, what is it? All right, that's all I got. We've managed to banter our way to 30 minutes. You got anything else?
That's all I got.
All right, so that was the lion's mane jellyfish. For you out there in Podcastia, go with the flow. Ring the jellyfish bell of the new year. And troll the ocean with your nematocysts, like the lion's mane jellyfish here in life, death, and taxonomy.
Hey Taxonomy Titans, it's almost election season, and that means it's time for you to vote on your favorite segment of the show. Send in your votes to ldtaxonomy@gmail.com or sign up for Patreon, even for free, and your vote counts twice. Don't forget to do your civic duty and vote for Measure Up or Critter Groups. But as always, thanks for listening and engaging.
Life and Taxonomy is my favorite in the world podcast.
It was topical again, twice in a row.
I brought it back.
I had to skip an episode to make it the donkey topical.
The donkey one work.